Hey y'all, it's Nada. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a full video review all on the State of Grace series by Tammy L. Gray. You already know that I have just raved about book 1 and 2 in this series. Loving a Little White Lie and Loving the Silver Lining. I just love these books so much. They're in my top of all time. And so I recently read Loving the Dream Come True, which was the most recent release in this series. It came out on August the 2nd. Thank you to Baker Publishing for sending me this to honestly read and review. I just finished it today. I'm filming this on Sunday. And so this will come out either tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know. But y'all, I said I was going to do a full video review on the entire series. And I have a lot of thoughts on this one right here. I just posted my review, and because I don't know what I'm gonna say, but okay. If you see my Goodreads review, you know this is gonna be hard for me to talk about. But let's just go ahead, and I'm just gonna say overall, this series, I love this series tremendously. It is just an overall 5-star series because of just the journey that the characters make. The way she does a love triangle is beautiful, and there's a love triangle in the first 2 books. There is not in this one. But the way she does a love triangle is just so beautiful that you don't even like realize that it's a love triangle. I don't even know how to explain. Oh, Sheena has said this too. Like, the author just makes it to where it's not like an obvious love triangle. I don't know how to explain. She just writes it so well. It's really well done. That's the best way I can explain. And so, yeah, I mean, there's great Christian faith in this. These are Christian contemporary romances. The covers are stunning. Let's just appreciate the covers. I mean, regardless, look at this. Gradient is, oh, my jam. Gradient is my jam, my jammy jam. Like I just said with my videos. It really is. I don't even know what my favorite one is. I really like the green and blue. But then I also love the sunset vibes. But your girl loves purple. So it's like a whole thing. So these books are just beautiful together. They're just, you know, when you hold them, like in the thumbnail, they look beautiful. Everything about this is great. I love the font on this. Like I told y'all before, I work in marketing, and I love a good design on a cover. So, you already know. And then I love, like, the lights on this one. And the little dog, how cute. Just everything about this. Like the tree, it was just, I don't know, just something about these were just beautiful romances. So, great Christian faith content. God is front and center in the series. Finding yourself in Christ. Everything about this was beautiful. So what I'm going to do is talk first about each book and just a little bit of background on each one. And then at the final, I'm going to just review the newest one. I'm not going to do any spoilers. There's no spoilers here. I'm going to try not to. If you don't want to know anything about this 3rd book, don't watch the section on the 3rd book. But I'm not going to spoil anything, really, but I'm going to say who this follows. We're just going to go with it. Like I said, if you don't want to know anything about this one or this one, read these, come back. It's a great series. But I'll just go ahead first and tell y'all kind of like what I rated each book. 5 stars, loved it. 5 stars, loved it. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, I'm sorry. We have some thoughts, okay? We're going to have some thoughts. It's coming. Y'all got, you know what? I got my tea. I got my sweet tea. Now look, don't come for me in the comments, but I'm being honest. It's the honest review, and your girl, she honest, okay? Transparency. Mason jar sweet tea. Hold on a sec. This is a wonderful series, though. Overall, please do not get, like, I don't even know. It's a wonderful series. It's beautiful. So, but let's go ahead and talk real quick about book 1 and 2, just real fast, if I can get them. Because, you know, my fast is not real fast. So, got my iPad over here because it's been a hot minute since I read this. But, when I first read this book, this is the first book by Tammy L. Gray that I read, and it was like, okay, she's a new favorite author for me. I absolutely, adore this book. I mean, and even Miriam gave this 5 stars, y'all, and she's not even, like, big on a contemporary romance. If you're not a big contemporary romance reader, you would still love this book. Like, she loved it so much. This book has Christianity front and center. The main character is a non-believer, and she ends up having to work at a church, a Christian church, Grace Community Church. And there she just starts to find the Lord, and it was beautiful. She also meets this guy, Cameron, and he's in his music career. And then she meets Dylan, and everything kind of goes from there. Like, she basically recently got into a bad breakup with her ex-boyfriend, moves out here to like stay with her aunt for a while, and then works at, like I said, that church. She's a non-believer, doesn't want to discuss faith, but she has to pretend like she believes to work at this church. But like I said, she meets two guys. It's just, there's a love triangle involved. It's a whole thing. And this is a beautiful story just of coming to know God, going through some hard things and difficult times, and just how the Lord just opens your heart, finding yourself in Christ and showing forgiveness to others. It's just front and center. I loved it so much. So, and the ending, y'all, the ending was phenomenal. Okay, let's just say that. Okay. This was the best. So, yeah, all the characters really just go through like some hard struggles, and the Lord is good, and we really see that in their lives. And yeah, I gave this 5 stars. I love this so much. So I love how everything came full circle and we was good. So, beautiful. Then we got book 2, Love in the Silver Lining. And I love this so much too. Like, 5 stars, y'all. This just like, I already talked a lot about this, but the reason this was so good is we had, again, the Christian faith was front and center. Darcy, her mission trip has been canceled, and she's so upset about it. She has a lot of things weighing on her heart. The recent divorce of her parents, and then we also have this mission trip that has been canceled. She's kind of in this worst case scenario, just trying to navigate what's she gonna do next. Lord is with her the entire time. I love seeing just her like journey in this story. It was beautiful. The love triangle was really great as well. It's just so beautifully well done. The guy in this story was awesome. The guy who she ends up with, I loved him. If you're a dog lover, you're gonna love this too, because Darcy jumps at the chance to take care and train some dogs, and that was just really fun to see as well. It was a really nice side story there. There was a lot of like beautiful depictions of her trying to help the dogs so that they wouldn't be in animal control and all this great things, trying to find them homes. Really like that. That's why we have like this cute little dog here. Just love it. I ain't spoiling nothing, but it just has a great love triangle. Beautiful, beautiful faith content. Darcy, I just really like, I think a lot of people have said they feel connected to her. Loved it. Just a really genuine character. Okay. And then, okay. As Christy says, we're about to have maybe an incoherent discussion. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm still like in my feelings about this. And it's like in a good and bad way. I don't know how to say. What am I saying? Then we have book 3, Loving the Dream Come True, and I just have some mixed feelings here. I was quite disappointed with this. I don't even know how I want to say it, but I think because I was just so like, I loved book 1 and 2 so much, and I just didn't connect with the characters here as much as I hoped to. I'm not a big rock band romance person. That's primarily front and center here, so I think that's part of it, but it was still a good read. But I just have some thoughts. So let's go. Let me first tell you what this is about. This follows, and if you don't want to know any more, like who this follows or anything, please do not watch any further. I'm not going to say spoilers, but some people could feel like if they know who follows these books, who the main characters are in these books, it would spoil them for other books. So I don't know. Watch at your own risk, but I'm not going to say any real spoilers at all. It's just character names, okay? With that being said, this follows Cameron. This is pretty much his whole story. And we do have Lexi. And Lexi is a single mother of 13-year-old Morgan. So, what's happening in this book? First of all, Cameron, his whole music career is like in shambles at the beginning of the book. So, we just like seeing everything struggling. He's like years later from after book 2. So, it's like 4 to 5 years later. I think it's 4 years. 4 years. So, the synopsis says 4 years after getting the biggest break of his life, which he had his music career is struggling. And so he ends up going back home, taking a little break. He goes back home, and his sister's getting married. And so he goes to the wedding, and he meets Lexi. And everything kind of goes from there. I think if you really like a rock band romance, you'd like this. But I just didn't connect much with Cameron or Lexi, and I'll go ahead and tell you kind of what I liked and what I didn't like. I give this 3 out of 5. So it's not like a bad book, but I was disappointed. It's the best way that I can explain what I liked. I really liked that we had some home renovation vibes going. That was nice. The family vibes. Of course, we have all the family characters, the family dynamic. You know, she's a single mom. There's some issues going on with her sister. Lexi's sister and some like background there. Not gonna spoil anything with that. If you know, you know. Of course, we have a lot of details with Morgan. She's in school, and yeah, there's just all this family discussion. I also really loved that we got to see like just little snippets of where the characters were 4 or 5 years later. Darcy and her man and January and her man. So from book 1 and 2, we got to see kind of where they were, you know, all that good stuff. Their family, what had happened over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. That was wonderful. There wasn't a lot of that, but we had those snippets. The main thing I loved about this story is the details surrounding Morgan, Lexi's sister. I think Cameron was almost like a father figure for Morgan, and I think he did a good job with that. The ending was also kind of like around Christmas time, so you had a little bit of Christmas vibes, and you know, your girl's been in some Christmas mood, so that was good. And the faith aspects, while I think we could have had quite a bit more faith, it wasn't as faith-filled as these 2 books, in my opinion. But honestly, we're gonna set them up there. I should set them up there, y'all. Okay. What am I doing? Like I said, while this wasn't as faith-filled as them 2, this still had some good faith. Primarily, this was just like we saw God's hand at work in Lexi's life and some with Cameron, but primarily like the daughter situation, Lexi's sister, everything that happened in the past with them. You could really see how God had worked, and that was good. But I didn't like. Y'all ready? Hold on. 1 second. Your girl's burning up. Had to turn the fan on. Okay. So, what I did not like. I just felt like Lexi was idolizing Cameron, and it was weird. Like, she was like I don't know, she had this childhood crush on him, and then it turns into almost like an obsession. And when she sees him at the wedding, she kind of just like goes, whoa, okay, my childhood crush is here. Okay, you know, which everybody probably would be like that. But the fact that she's a mom, right? Like, there were a few times I felt like that Morgan was more mature than Lexi as the parent. Because Morgan would be like at school, and Lexi wouldn't even be there on time to pick her up. Because she was so involved. You know, like, which I think even before she got involved with Cameron, she was late quite a bit, if you know, you know. But it's like, there was one time when she's involved with Cameron, she didn't even, like, show up at all. She was going to be completely late. She's like, oh, no, I forgot. And it's, like, that's a little frustrating because it's, like, you're the parent and, yeah. So, I don't know. It almost felt like it was idolizing him as this singer that just kind of felt off-putting. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not trying to be in any way. This was still a good book. But that's how I took it, you know? It was just a little much. I just felt like she lost sight of some important things. Also, I feel like the romance was a bit rushed in this. If you know what happens at the end of book 2, it's kind of like... And I just feel like the romance was rushed a bit in this very quickly. Because he wasn't even there that long, and I don't know, if you've read this, you know. And I also just don't feel like this, but I'm the right audience, I guess, because I don't love rock band. I just didn't care about his music career in any way. Like, there was a lot of discussion about his music career and him writing songs and all of that. I didn't care. Like, I just didn't care. If you like rock band romances, you'd like this, but, like, honestly, that's really not my vibe, and so I think that's part of it. If you would like it, you probably like this, like I said. So I just think that, like, I'm the wrong audience here for Cameron, because I just didn't care about his career. Sorry, Cameron, I didn't care about your music. But moving on. I think if I just loved Cameron and Lexi more, I would have, my feelings would be so different in this story. But this would have been like a different experience for me. But I just didn't connect with them as much as I had hoped to. So I'm glad he finally gets his story and we're here and all the good stuff. But I really just, this wasn't for me. 3 out of 5 though. Like, I still have to give 3 out of 5 because I still love her writing style. It does reel you in, but the characters were just not the same as these. You know, it'd be different. You know what's funny? It's like, maybe if I didn't love these on such a high pedestal up here, then I would feel a little bit different here. But, like, these were just top tier, and I just can't say anything else. So, yeah, that's really all I got to say, you know. That's it. So, here we are, y'all. I feel like I was, like, in the minority with book 3, and I'm sorry. I don't want anybody to be, like, come after me. But, you know, it's the honesty. Everybody knows. Everybody got different opinions on books. It's fine. But I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then when I got to the end, I was like, that was fine. You know, it was just fine. So I'm still really thankful that I got to read it. I'm so thankful the publisher sent me this to honestly read and review. Y'all still pick these books up. Like, I highly recommend this series. This was just a great, especially book 1 and 2. They are just phenomenal. Buy these books, read it, support Tammy Gray. I think this is her last book she's wrote. I don't think she's going to be writing anymore, at least for a while. So, because she's made references to this being her last book. So, yeah, I'm still going to read some of her other books. I've definitely got these 2 still on my shelf. I've still got these 2 to read. My Home Next Door is number 1, and then this is number 2. So I've still got those to read. So thankfully I still have some more of her books to read. But yeah, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Have you read all 3 of these? Have you read 1, 2, 3, all of them? What's your thoughts? Like, do y'all agree with me on any of this? Like, I see one review that was kind of similar to what I was thinking on some of the things. But most people give it 4 and 5 stars, and I kind of felt like, okay. But I mean, I'm just being honest. So let me know in the comments below. Have you read these books? Are you interested in these books? Which one interests you the most? Like I said, I love these. I love book 1 and 2. They're just phenomenal. I highly recommend. I will link these books below if you're interested to check out. Yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments below. Hope that you will like and subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I ain't said that in a while. So, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.